Hey, it's Paul from howtoplaybassdotcom. Today we're going to look at Uptight by Stevie Wonder. Original bass line was done by James Jamerson. Simple track, only got two chords, D flat and then C flat over D flat slash chord. What we're going to do is I'm going to teach the intro, which is there's a specific riff that you need to play, 2-bar riff that you play twice, and then I'm going to teach four 4-bar patterns that you can use, you can mix and match, and use as the basis of playing through the track if you were playing through it live. It's fairly straightforward, but some really interesting subtleties in this, things that Jamerson was allowed to do, because in the original track, if you know the Stevie Wonder track, you've got the snare drum beating on all the downbeats on beats 1, 2, 3 and 4, so it allows Jamerson to be a bit subtler with his timekeeping. So it's a really interesting study if you want to go deeper into the bass line. If you don't, then just carry on with the lesson, and we've got the 4-bar variations that I'll teach through note by note, and I'll at the start of each section there's a little play along with a band in a box sketch track which gives us rhythmic and chordal backing. So we'll go and start with that in a moment with the intro. Before we do that, if you're not subscribed to my free monthly e-zine, click the link underneath the video, head over to my website, the free bass lessons, enter your email, sign up. As a thank you for entrusting me with your email, you'll get a sequence of song tutorials in video and PDF format, and then there's also a song tutorial again in video and PDF format that comes out every month or so, and all that material is just exclusive to people who subscribe, and it costs just your email address. So go do that and then come back here and we'll get started with the intro. You just heard the intro, 4-bar intro being played with the band in a box sketch track that I'm going to be using to give us some chordal and rhythmic backing for this tutorial. Simple 2-bar pattern that's repeated twice. And that D flat there would be the first note of the verse. So we've got a D flat to start with, 4th fret of the A string. 2 A flats, 4th fret of the E string, then we've got C flat, D flat, C flat, D flat, 2nd and 4th frets of the A string. So the first bar of that rhythm, and then we've got a pause of a quarter note or a beat, and then we play, which is 2 more A flats, 4th fret of the E string. Then we've got C flat, D flat, 2nd and 4th fret of the A string, and then another D flat, a pickup note which brings us back in. So really slowly it's, and then we'd be into the verse, and we're going to look at 4 different variations, as I said in the intro, how you can play through the verse. Okay, you just heard the first variation that we're going to use, played with the band in a box sketch track that we're using for chordal and rhythmic backing. Basically we're playing this. And then we're back to D flat. So starting on D flat, everything's played in first position, so you're fretting D flat, 4th fret of the A string with the 4th finger. You don't need to move your hand, so you've got D flat, open E, F, 1st fret of the E string, and we're going to play G flat, G natural, A flat, 2nd, 3rd and 4th frets of the E string. Then we've got B flat, 1st fret of the A string, C flat, 2nd fret of the A string, back to A flat, C natural, 3rd fret of the A string, and that's the first 2 bars. Then the second 2 bars we're going to play D flat, open E, 2 Fs, open E, F, G fret of the E string again, G natural, 3rd fret of the E string, A flat, 4th fret of the E string, and then C flat, 2nd fret of the A string. So that 2 bars sounds like this. So the 4-bar pattern put together again. And listen closely to the section I played at the start with the band in a box track so you can get the rhythm and see where Jamerson's really sustaining those notes and where he's playing. So let's move on to the next variation, variation 2. As we go through these variations, you'll realise they're all very subtle variations of each other, and you can mix and match, and it will give you a massive amount of material to choose from to play through this. So you sound authentic, but so you're throwing in all these variations and playing different things. So the variation 2 that you just heard, that's the first 2 bars. We've got D flat, open E, F, 1st fret of the E string, F, G flat, 1st and 2nd frets of the E string, G natural, 3rd fret, and then we've got A flat, B flat, B natural or C flat, and C. So A flat's the 4th fret of the E string, and then B flat, B, C, 1st, 2nd, 3rd frets of the A string. So those 2 bars. Okay, then the next 2 bars, we're going to play this. Similar, but subtly different. We're going to play D flat, open E, 2 Fs, open E, F, G flat, G natural, A flat, B flat, B natural or C flat, C natural. So the 4-bar pattern. That's that 4-bar pattern for variation 2. So let's move on, look at variation 3. Variation 3 starts off with D flat to the open E string again, and to F. Then we've got G flat, G, A flat, 2nd, 3rd and 4th frets of the E string, and then we've got B flat, we've got C flat, G flat, 2nd fret of the A and E strings, C natural, 3rd fret of the A string. So okay, and then the next 2 bars we're going to play D flat, open E, 2 Fs, okay, another F and a G flat, 2nd fret, G natural, A flat, C natural, 3rd fret of the A string of course. So that 2 bars sounds like. Okay, and the 4 bars together. D flat, the end of the pattern, start of the downbeat of the next bar, start of the next pattern. So we're going to have a look at one more variation, variation 4. Let's go do that. Okay, variation 4, just heard it with the band in a box track. As with all the variations, we start with D flat down to the open E string and then to F. Then we've got 2 more Fs and a G flat. We've got a G, then we've got A flat, B flat, B natural, C natural, and pattern sounds in isolation. Then the next two bars, the last two bars of this variation, D flat, down to open E, two Fs, F to G flat, back to open E, back to G flat, G natural, A flat and C, and that two bars in rhythm sounds like this. Okay, and then the 4-bar pattern, I'll just play it through at one time without the backing so you can hear it. And again, finish on D flat. Two chords last throughout the entire progression, verses and the choruses. If you learn those 4 variations, they'll give you, each of those 4 variations is a 2-bar pattern and then a different 2-bar pattern. You can create your own variations by mixing and matching the 2-bar patterns, so you'll have a gazillion variations that you can play through Uptight. It's a great song, and remember what I said in the intro about Jamerson letting the snare drum that goes throughout on all the beats be the thing that marks the tempo, so you can get to play with the rhythm a bit and have a more subtle approach to timekeeping. It's a really interesting thing hearing what he's doing if you're going to have a close listen to it from that perspective. So I encourage you to go and do that. It will really help your understanding of playing through this track. That's Uptight, and I'll catch you in the next video tutorial.